Hello and welcome to ConveyorWare's tutorial video number 2, Entering Inventory. Now that you have your company set up, we'll set up your inventory so you have items to sell. The first step is to log in using the login process you've used before, except now you are going to use the second username and password that were sent to you. Remember that the username and password with the A at the end is for administration login only. So find your user login information and enter it now. The first screen you will come to will consist of a short list of options. Choose Main Menu. Now you will arrive at the Distribution System Main Menu page. Click on Inventory menu, number 300, and you will arrive in the Inventory menu page. Choose Work with Inventory, number 301, and arrive on the Work with Inventory page. First, we're going to talk about how to add inventory. Enter the company number. Remember that ConveyorWare is designed to support up to 999 companies inside one account, so you will need this number to define which company you will be working with. If you only have one company set up, that company number will show up in the field. After you enter the company number, click on the Position by Stock Number field. ConveyorWare has multiple ways to identify stock items, but there are only two that are required: the stock number and the description. In order to create an inventory item, you must first enter a stock number here. If your item already has a stock number that is used for distribution or sale, enter it here. If not, you will need to create one before moving on. Stock numbers can consist of numbers, letters, or a combination of both, and can include dashes. It is essential that the stock number entered here matches the stock number used elsewhere, such as eBay, Amazon, or in a store. This number, along with the description, will differentiate this item from all others. There will be an opportunity to supply additional numbers, codes, or descriptions for cross-reference. But for now, we want to make sure that there is one unique stock number and description for each item in your inventory. After entering the unique stock number, click the Add F6 button toward the bottom of the page. Now you are on the Add a Stock Item page. ConveyorWare has a very robust inventory tracking system, but for this tutorial, we will be covering the basics. The more in-depth aspects of inventory tracking will be dealt with in a later video. Remember that all of the fields that are marked with brown reverse type are required. The system will not let you leave this page until all the marked fields are properly completed. Here you can see where your company number is, and here is the stock number you entered. Next, you will fill in the rest of the required fields. Start with a description. Keep in mind that it should be short, no more than 24 characters, but descriptive enough to differentiate it from all other products. If this item has a particular name, use it here. For example, Rolling River Skateboards stocks a board that is called Kicker. You may also want to put in a size or color to further identify the item. The next required fields are category code and class code. These numbers are used by the accounting software to track inventory. We will go into more depth about these two numbers in a future video, but for now we will go over the basics of how to fill in these fields. You can come back and change this information later if necessary. Both of these fields have this symbol indicating a drop-down list. Let's start with category. Click on the field, then click F4 prompt to view the list. Once you see the menu, you can select the appropriate category. When you set up your company, the system creates 3 categories and class codes automatically. Category 1 was set up to be a catch-all category, which can be used until you set up more categories, or it may be the only one you need. You will see that the next 2 line items are both Category 2. This is because Category 2 is for non-stock items like freight and tax. After selecting your category code for this item, click on the class code and then click F4 prompt to view the list. As stated, the system automatically created 3 class codes. The first will be the 3-letter code you entered in the company abbreviation field back when you set up your company. This is a catch-all code that you can use until you are able to set up other class codes if you need them. The second one is FRT, which is freight. The third is TAX for, you guessed it, sales tax. Now I want to point out something else here before we leave this dialog box. Notice the G/L account column, General Ledger Account. Here you can see the system is assigning dollars to specific categories of revenue. This will be helpful when you are doing your accounting. We will talk more about the accounting features in a future video, but I wanted you to see how the system has already begun tracking and organizing information in the background. We will go into more depth about class codes and category codes in a later video. For now, you can choose Category Code 1 and the default class code for your company. Now we move on to Manufacturing Code, which has one of these symbols indicating a list. Click on the field and F4 prompt to view the list. The system will have set up two manufacturing codes to begin with. The first is a 3-letter code that you set up to identify your company. The second code was set up by the system as ZZZ. This code should be used for non-stock items, such as sales tax, shipping, promotional items such as a free sticker that goes with every skateboard purchase, or a free service like a complimentary engraving. This manufacturing code should be applied where there is an item or service that is not inventoried. We will cover how to add new manufacturing codes in a future video, but for now you can use one of these two. You can always go back and change it later. Next is the country of manufacture. There is a drop-down menu of country abbreviations that you can access by clicking on the field and then F4 prompt. Or if you know the abbreviation, such as US for the United States, you can just enter it in the field. The next field is Standard Pack and requires a yes or no answer. If you only sell this item as an individual piece, type in N. If your supplier sends you your products in a standard quantity per pack, answer Y and put that amount in the Quantity Pack field. The last required field is the NMFC code. If transporting by truck, you will need an NMFC code, which stands for National Motor Freight Classification. This code is a standard by which commodities are grouped into classes based on an evaluation of transportation characteristics. Once evaluated, a transportation cost can be assigned to the item. ConveyorWare has a default code of 85, which is a broad enough category to be used most of the time. However, by using the proper NMFC code, you can save money in freight charges. If you do not know the code for your item, leave the default in place for now, and you will be able to ship your product. To get more accurate codes, contact your carrier. They should be able to give you the proper code. One thing to note is that if you are receiving shipments of a product from another manufacturer, the NMFC code should be on the paperwork, so you can find it there. Now that we have filled out all the required fields, you can move on, but I do want to point out a few additional fields that would be helpful to fill in now. Keep in mind that you can always come back and add, take out, or update information. Also remember that the more information you feed into the system, the more thorough and accurate your reports and record keeping will be. The system is, however, designed to operate with simply entering the defaults. By filling in the unit price field, which is the price for which you will sell the item, and the cost field, the amount you paid for the item, you can easily see the profit you earned on each product sold. The location fields are there to help you locate your product once it has been placed into inventory. Time spent looking for something will cost you. Identifying where each item is located saves time, labor, and money. There is a commission field in which a percentage can be entered. In this area, you can enter the dimensions and weight of your items, which will help with shipping. If you remember, ConveyorWare is connected to UPS, so if you enter all this information, your shipping charges can be calculated quickly and accurately. Be sure to identify your unit of measure. UPC codes can be entered by hand or through a UPC scanner. Reorder point can keep you from running out of stock. Enter a number here and the system will alert you on your inventory reports when your inventory reaches this number, giving you time to reorder before you run out. There are even more details that you can supply, but for now this will get you started. Hit your Enter Return key. Now you will be back to the Work with Inventory page. Enter the stock number for the inventory item you just created and hit the Enter Return key. You will see the item displayed with an Opt field to the left. Click on the Opt field to reveal a drop-down menu. From here you have many choices. If you choose Change, you can edit the information. If you choose Delete, you can delete the item as long as none of them have ever been ordered. Once an item has been ordered, it stays in the history. If you choose Display, you can see all the information but cannot edit it. There are some other choices that we will discuss in later videos, but these are the most commonly used selections. The inventory system in ConveyorWare goes much deeper than we have demonstrated here today, but this will get you started. Now you are ready to move on to ConveyorWare's tutorial video number 3, Creating a Customer Profile. Thank you for using ConveyorWare.